Hello, this time we have a game where white wins by 38 points and a half, quite a big margin, and it didn't even kill anything big on the board, so it's quite impressive to see how this game developed. So let's get started. First of all, the opening is quite normal. Black is playing a large Shimari, white does the same thing. White could also consider the split, which is an old style play, inside approach, outside approach, or Sansan invasion. These are the modern options, but playing the high Shimari it's also a very trendy move, so nothing to complain so far. Now black decided to split the middle of the left side, but in this position black should think about taking his own middle side extension on the right side, because this is always good direction from his Shimari to extend towards the right. Then black can also consider taking away white's extension, so play either high or low. The idea is that white wants to extend in this direction. Also black can play on the top side tight to defend the corner with a Keima or an Ogema. This way we'll put more emphasis on the corner than the side, but again it's playing in the direction where white wants to extend. Black can also consider putting pressure on the Sansan, which should be probably one of the first moves to think about when attacking a low corner like that. And well, among these options, it seems that black chose to split the left side, which feels like a possible option, but it should be considered after the other options. Now white extends in the top, which is pretty good. That's the nice direction of play. And if black simply goes back to r14, white will take the ideal spot. So it's a good idea for black to pincer in this case. Now white's options are to invade the corner, which happened in the actual game. White can also think about a double approach. This way we can have a bit more complicated Josekis. This would be a basic pattern, not so sophisticated. But for example, this is another option in case white really wants to settle the group in the top and then also extend on the right side. And then on this Atari, white can cut and capture the cornerstone. Then if black defends on the right side to put pressure on the tiny group there, white simply extends again. Here white has Miai. When black attacks on the right side, white can play the Kosumi, threatening to cut, so black needs to fix his connection, and then white jumps out. So this is a way to fix the group on the right side. But it seems white decided to play the easy variation, so simply invade the Sansan. That's very good. Now here black is making a fundamentally wrong decision. The way to play is to separate at q17. So white is supposed to Nobi, then get ahead, Hane, block, connect also, one space jump, and then black extends again in the top. Locally, black can play another move to make sure that O17 is not going to move out, but globally it's bigger to extend towards the Shimari and limit the expansion from the top left corner. So this would be a basic Joseki, and it's good for black to block in this direction instead of blocking on the right side, because when blocking on the right side, black usually ends up in Gote. Normally white should play here, but we will get to that in a moment. So black is supposed to complete his wall like this in order to connect to L16, but in this case he's making a wall, and now white is taking away the extension. So this choice of making the wall towards the right side should be taken only when black has a middle side extension like Q10 in place. So let's back up a few moves. Let's suppose that D9 it's played at Q10, and now if you have the same kind of variation with a pincer at L16, then in this case black can choose to block the right side, because now he is going to set up a moe on the right side. So if you have the same joseki, this will happen. And now it's nice to have a wall and go for a moe in this direction. But if black doesn't have a middle side extension, then he should never block at R16. Always separate and go for the top side in this case, because now he's got the extension at L16. So he should focus in setting up the moe in the top instead. This is something to remember about the direction of play. Moving on with the actual game, playing this M18 doesn't really protect against the cuts. The problem is that black can still push through and cut O18. Now if white protects the corner, black has a ladder starting from M17, and the ladder works. It's going to come in this direction, more or less. So we don't have to play it out. It's obvious that white is going to be captured, which means M18 is kind of punished. Of course, white can Atari under and then connect, but this is rather painful compared to having a tiger mouth like situation. So if we play N18 and black will push, white blocks. Now when black cuts here, white can protect, and there is no way to cut the other way because it's a self-Atari. So playing N18 will protect against those cuts. Now on the Keima, if white decides to capture the stone in order to be safe, then black is happy to give up the O18 in order to catch the two stones in the corner. And again, if you look at M18, that's a wasted move in this case. So white was supposed to play the Kosumi. If white doesn't play anything, well, white can also go down or push up like this. But if white simply plays away, black can push, cut on the outside. If white protects the corner, black will play the ladder, and then white needs another move to leave in the corner like this. Otherwise the corner dies. So for example, if white extends here, black goes down and then Hane, and the corner is captured, because now we're back to the L formation or the dead L group. So that's why white needs to play another move and protect. And if this happens and white decides to capture the stone, now black will take the two stones in the corner. And this is similar to the double Hane Joseki when you have a Sansan invasion against a Hoshi. So black decided to play away instead of pushing and punishing that stretch, the Keima M18. Now white is happy to take the middle side extension. Well, here, for example, if black doesn't see the option of pushing and cutting and so on, at least black can push one time and then extend on the right side. So now again his wall is facing the good direction. But in this case, white is happy to separate the top stone. So it's still not so great for black. But playing away to H17 doesn't really do much. So white took a very nice big point here. Then black extends from the right, that's okay. Well, I would still help or save some face for that wall and attack from this direction. Then when white extends towards the Shimari, black can just play away. Well, black should still consider the cut, but okay, let's suppose that's history now. So black can attack this corner or attack this way and try to set up a moe on the bottom. Attacking from this direction is pretty good for the R4 Shimari, but once white extends towards the wall, now the three stones in the top right, they become thin. So that's not thickness anymore. Therefore, yeah, black is trying to use it somehow. Oh, but once he plays this exchange, the Agi is gone. So this was the last chance for black to use the cut in his favor. Cut like this and then capture the stone, or take the corner. And now the wall is safe again. So white simply went ahead, and now the Agi is gone. But here, playing R19 looks like a misclick. I don't see a reason not to block at S18. because the cuts are not a problem anymore. If black cuts here, white connects. If Atari go down, then if black cuts the other way, white protects, and then when Atari on the outside, white captures and nothing happens in the top. Even if if black covers, white can play away. It's fine. And after Atari connect, when black blocks, white is fine already. Also locally, white can play another move here. Black will extend and then just jump out. So the R13 stones are not going to be pressed by the wall. And actually the wall black is building in the top is completely meaningless, because this wall it's facing the base on the right side. So it's difficult to use that wall later in the game. I mean, it's supposed to have some influence towards this direction, but now it's gone. So black is not doing so well in this opening for sure. So in general, when you feel threatened with the life and death situation, it's normal to expand the ice space. So a block like S18 makes more sense than going down. Now black went into the corner to threaten the group even more. White blocks to keep the eye shape, but it's not even needed. White can go out here, for example, and then keep pushing and hane and expand the eye space even more in the top. But okay, white protects like this to keep the ice. And then when black blocks, black is actually threatening to capture the stones in the top. And white plays away. In this case, white is supposed to defend Q19, O18, or O19. Because this also gives eye shape. So if white plays away, like this kind of move that happened in the game, threatening to separate the wall, black can simply Atari Q19, and if white connects, black will capture everything. So this is a collapse, and there is no reason to cut those stones in the top anymore when white just lost the group. I mean, if something like this happens, white is just going to lose more stones. Difficult game now. So white plays this move, and black needs the opportunity to capture. So if black plays this Atari, white can connect, give up the 4 stones, and then run out with the rest of the group. But again, black is pretty much back in the game. At least in this local fight, it's a gain. Playing here, it's a connection on neutral points, and it doesn't benefit black in any way. Now white is even peeping, but this peep again doesn't make sense when black can capture. Well, black missed the captures, so obviously he connected here. And now white goes back and protects 1 stone. It's not important because the group is already safe. So we have to completely discard or disregard the fact that white needs to defend Q19, or black can play Atari Q19 and capture the top right corner, and just consider that's all settled from now on for the rest of the game. And let's suppose white plays a move here like F4. And now if black goes for a capture on the right side, even if black captures 1 stone, white's group it's pretty light. I mean, it has enough space in this area to build at least twice later. It's actually going to build something like 10 points of territory, so white shouldn't worry. This double up it's slack at this stage. Now black plays away, jumping out. He doesn't really need that move. At this stage it's interesting for black to expand the bottom moya, so approach the corner from this direction and then extend back to K4. So like this, he's making this kind of area, or at least a big framework, a moyo. Now white can play away. White is already strong on the right side, so white should also think about ways to expand the bottom area. It can be a middle side extension, but going too deep, it's a bit tricky when you have a San. So it's better to take smaller steps, like play F4. Then in this case, D9 will probably extend to the left, I mean to the top, and then towards the bottom, and then white can extend again on the bottom side to expand the moy or control half of the board. if black extends J4 or K4, then white can attack the single stone on the left side, and this will be a little more difficult for black, at least on the left side, so, or uncomfortable. But playing p9 is not so urgent because the group on the right is already solid enough. That's a bit unusual to attack the top this way. And again, it's not the interesting side because there is not so much to build in the top as long as white can still come from the M18 stone and erase that area. Black should look for the open space, and there's a lot of empty space to cover on the bottom. Now white blocks, okay, and get ahead. Black approaches the corner, that's a good move. Here white can think about playing the second line block, because from this move, later, white can push. This is the follow-up. Well, the kick is also nice, because normally black has to go up, and then white can block the expansion from this side. And this is also good for white to play the kick in order to keep center. But black can also counter this by approaching the lower left corner from the side. Then white extends for a base, and then play Han and Atari in order to keep center, and again extend to grab a big point on the bottom. So in this case, black is not going to move up. The idea of playing a Hane and Atari is because white is already strong enough in that corner, so it doesn't matter if white plays two more moves here where he's already thick. Now that's an endgame move, shouldn't be played too early. Black can wait. These are the kind of moves you play from around 200 to 250 in the late endgame stage. This is good direction. And now attack all the way to h3. That's a good move. Instead of going inside the corner right away, white should consider a different way to reduce. For example, p4, then push down, Hane, and then cover with a shoulder hit. So like this, white stones connect pretty well in this area. It's a better flow, let's say. Also, white can play some kind of pincer this way, just to disrupt the connection between h3 and o3. So white jumps in. Then again, instead of the invasion, which is really no need because white has a pretty good position, white can press, then no b, just to reduce the right side, but keep connected to his p9. That's usually the follow-up from p9 to put pressure at q7 with a Keima, which is also a shoulder hit in this case. And then, in order to use q3 as agi or bait, white should invade. Because now, black already protected in the corner at r3, so the q3 exchange, it's fine. And then if black plays another move, white can extend on the bottom. So in the end, black played many moves in the corner to catch this q3. So white reduced the right side and then managed to break the bottom, and therefore also put pressure on h3. So black has to jump out, white can jump out too, and then it just feels light. This invasion can be a little bit risky because black can resist with an attach, and then no b, then it creates a cutting point, and then black can jump like this or surround with Kosumi. So in this case, black's territory on the right side can just become bigger, which means both the attachment, I mean the original invasion, which was a probe, and the other invasion on the right side, they kind of got punished being captured this way on a large scale. Well, luckily for white, black just decided to go for the bottom corner and then gave up the stone on the side. The result here is good for white. Now black extended again to expand the bottom area, and white invades right away. White is playing a very aggressive style this time, and it's actually not even needed because, okay, black has the bottom side like around 30 points, let's say, but the rest of the board seems pretty much neutral, and actually it's more interesting for white to enter the left side and try to unsettle the D9 group. Now here, black was supposed to cover, then push again, and either connect solid in center to set up a wall in the middle, then Han and Atari, and let's say expand the center. That's one way. Another way would be to push a few times and then just block. And now white has to capture the stone. And again, try to expand the center. And then take care of the left side. Playing the jump, it's a bit too loose and allows black escape at k4. Sorry, white, not black. White can push here right away. And when black blocks, white has the option to cut. It's still possible to turn and then use the attach on h2. Anyway, push once, it's okay. Then turn. And black should actually cover. Even if white connects under like this, black can get some thickness towards the middle, then still play these exchanges for trying to over concentrate white in the top left, then play this exchange and expand to the center. So at least black can hope some kind of moyo coming up in the middle. The actual game, how it went. So bump. Now white has to go out. Well, pushing once to expand the base is fine. Then jump out, very good. This Hane is it's normal. Black can think about Hane under as well, in order to take away the base. Then push and peep and then surround everything. Now white might play another move to leave in the corner. And another option for black would be to play the clamp. And now when white goes down, black will cover and then press the group a little bit. And then jump out to keep attacking the K6 group. This probably is more severe by black. So Hane, white has to pull back, that's very good. Interesting attach in the corner. But actually it's an overplay. White can block. If crosscut, white has time to Atari once, black connects and white captures the stone. So like this, white leaves pretty big in the corner. I mean, white captured this stone, which was the overplay, and builds another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 12 points there. It's a pretty large life compared to giving up a few points like this. It's urgent to protect the cutting point, but white still needs to defend the corner. So push once, then Hane, and even turn. And after black goes up, white should protect here with a tiger mount. If white tries to cut through, it doesn't really work right away, because white has this Atari, connect, and on the cut, Atari again, push through, and then cut with Atari, even push here several times. And then the semi on the bottom side is going to be won by white. So simply play here, for example, and it's done. Let's see what happens if white plays away. So black comes like this, white will block, Hane, block, connect. On this move, white has to go down. Yeah, then if black plays here, white can cut one time to gain some liberties, and then make an approach move and Atari. So even if white plays away, it's okay, it's connected. But of course it requires some reading. But yeah, the tiger mount feels good locally. The thing is, lower left corner was a little bit in trouble. So black protects. Black should actually try to take advantage in the corner. Either turn like this, or play Hane on the first line, and then surround the group. Now white has to struggle again to make some ice. But in the end it's okay. It will live. Small but alive. Anyway, black could get a few exchanges in center. So black blocks here, turn, peep once, and then make some shape. So now instead of playing Hane, again, push once. If black pulls back, turn, black goes up, and then the group is alive already. And it's no need to play G2. Why should hurry to get another stone in the middle to connect to the right or jump out in the center somewhere like this? Playing here, white blocks, and this is not the right eye shape in this particular case. F1 would be better, because against a move like E2, which is also empty triangle, black can Atari, and then when white connects, this didn't become an eye. And if white blocks like that, it's a ko. And then if white connects here, Hane in the corner. If white goes down, black can turn first, and then surround everything. And this is a square, which is a dead shape. Sometimes it's good to go down and then make the eye shape like this. Most of the time it's good enough to play the hanging connection or tiger mount. But in this case it's nice to push once and Hane in the corner to prevent black's Hane at A2. So now white protects either like this or solid. When he needs eye shape he will play here. White can turn once, even push, and then push again. And like this it's already alive in center. There's a lot of space in this area to build eyes. So nothing to worry about. Playing this way, white decided to make eye shape but on a smaller scale. So once again, push, Hane, then turn, and just go out to make more space. Yeah, it's already alive. So white can play away. If black tries moves like this, white can clearly make two eyes. Enough room inside that corner. Yeah, once again, push and Hane. This way, white gets the eye in the corner in center. So there are two eyes like this. Like that, white finished in Gote. Finally, black played those exchanges and connected down, which is actually big in the end game. White jumps here, that's okay, go up. So with this turn, black is threatening to capture K18. So it makes more sense for white to protect at K18. And if black covers, white can turn. And in the end, there are not so many points in this area. Black just be like 1 or 2 points. Actually, it's not so clear that the second point will happen. But playing this kind of move, black can capture the stone. Well, of course, white will turn and go out. But white could push out right away. And then if black captures, white has ways to protect indirectly. But let's not forget that white can always capture here. Well, that will never happen this game. Even at the neutral points, they don't care about capturing the group or connecting it. That's the theme in this game. Protect Q19 or die. So this is 1 point. Instead of playing Atari here, it's better to turn, then play Atari from the other side. And when black Atari is from behind, capture right away, because next E11 is center, so black would go up. If black tries to resist, then push once and jump out, trying to harm those stones. So now the way out for black, it's push here first. If black plays the Hane, cut, Atari escape, Atari go out, and then everything is captured. So this is unfortunate for black. Therefore, black has to push, white blocks, Atari connect, Atari go out, connect, turn, it's forced to connect, and then capture the stone in a net like this or like this. Well, playing here leaves more caught threats or forcing moves from the center. Playing the classic net, it just leaves these two forcing moves, but it's hard to catch that white group, so white is already out like this or like this. And if you look at the black group form here from going out, it's just all neutral points. It's playing on dame points. So that's no gain for black. Therefore, white could try to gain more, but I guess it's not the case. White feels good with his position. Protecting here is no need. So on this Atari, it would make sense to connect. If white wants to cut a J16, there are several ways to capture that stone. One option is Atari and then ladder down, like this. But okay, there's a problem here. When going out, white can sacrifice these stones and capture the 4 stones. So there's a more effective way to capture, which is the net. Now if white comes up, black just blocks, turn, block, and capture everything. So white will actually never cut there, which means black doesn't have to protect if there is no danger. So black should protect here, and on this turn just no B, and don't worry about the cut. Even if white plays a peep like this, black can leave by capturing the stone in the top. So connecting in that area, it's pretty meaningless. Going out in the middle like this, it's important now. So let's move on. White is trying to separate, to reduce a few points there, but actually just turning in center it's enough. And then capture the stone. If black blocks, honey, center, connect. Then protect the middle. Maybe some jump around here would be nice. So this way it limits the expansion from the wall, but it also creates a few points in the middle for white later on in an open space or an unsettled area, which is also uncontested by both white and black. Here white should block, threatening the double Atari, so black needs to protect and then play away. It's very difficult actually in a Go game to build the center where both white and black have stones that can come in the middle from all directions. So that's a skill that one develops by playing lots of games and trying to see how the stones, or anticipate how the stones will connect later. This bump, it's actually center, I should pull back to Q8. Playing away, it's a bit dangerous. Black can cut, and then simply Atari, honey under, and black has enough liberties to win the semi. Now white is down to 3 liberties. So if white is trying to catch this group or to kill in a way or another, black actually has enough liberties to create a so-called one eye versus no eye position. So in the end, Mary Menashi, so white can't approach. White is simply captured inside. So black missed an opportunity to come back a little bit by cutting here. Well, white will just give up the stones in this case. So the game will be much closer. But playing the empty triangle, white simply connects. Peep was okay. Then cut one stone. So white builds a lot on the right side. And here the shape to keep ice is to jump. And then when black connects here, jump again. Or connects already, it's already enough room. But keep jumping and try to keep it light. Okay, connecting here would be better. Alright. So white is safe in this area. This Ogema seems a little bit too further, too deep into black's moyo. Just Kema would be enough to stay connected. So if black plays something like this, continue with another Kema, or push and cover and then jump in the middle. So now it really gives enough space to create more than 2 eyes. It's a territory that is going to form in the center. Playing like that, it's risky because black can attach and then make a bamboo connection, then push again, then cut, and eventually playing too far away gets punished. So black could cut that stone. It was overstretched. Luckily, white managed to play another move in the center, so it's all safe. Honey here in center is better. Honey, black connects, and then white can play away. For example, capture this stone. But now black's territories are limited and white is strong everywhere, so there's not much to do to come back this game. Yeah, it's a good protection. White should still connect here in center and then extend to prevent the Atari. Alright, that was Sente. Okay, build some more points in the middle. This is a good capture. Yeah, and now enter the left side. So black should protect either like this or Hane and Nobi to build more points. This Hane is painful. Black got reduced a lot. Yeah, and the block doesn't work. If this happens, Atari, throw in, Atari again, and everything is captured. Well, it works without the throw in, Atari and Atari. Sorry, I meant this one. Okay, so push again, destroy some more points, then throw in, very good, go down, and capture the 5 stones. Or the star formation. It's okay to block. And then block again. Capture the ko, very good. Well, connecting a ko is not such so big at this stage yet. Of course, it's bigger to connect here. Or this one. Or actually Kosumi. Then protect. If black takes back the ko, white can fight it or connect. But white is just losing 1 point. And a move like S5, it's worth 6-7 points, even more. Because actually here, yeah, it's actually more than 6 points. Black can play this move to threaten a snapback, then Hane, connect, and white has to play inside. So black is making all these points on the side, then reducing some of white points. Oh, it's something like 10 points difference here, compared to 1-2 points in the middle. So don't forget that in the late stage of the game, it's good to focus on second and first line moves more than the middle. Here white can play a monkey jump because it destroys all the points in center. All the points meaning like 6 points in this case. All this. Well, actually even 7. And it's center. Well, playing this move it's also center. Black should block, white goes back and black protects. But this way, white is destroying less points, so black can make all these points. 3 extra points. The way black is trying to block this schema, it's wrong because now white can push ahead, then cut, then Atari from behind, Atari again, and now this reverts to the monkey jump. So yeah, black was supposed to play this block right away. The idea is that if white cuts, black can Atari from behind and connect. Or wait, Atari again, in this case. Well, this can be a ko, but it's still better than what happened in the actual game where white enter and destroy everything there. Oh, now white has to go back and protect. And then white finished Gote, but it destroyed more points than before. Playing Atari here doesn't capture that stone, and black can just capture 3 stones back. So why all this reduction if you lose the 3 stones? Maybe it was a misread or an oversight. Yeah. Well, this is big. But it's also big to go down at T13. Playing here is no need. Black can Hane and white has to jump in center. Playing the clamp, it's Gote. And it just destroys a couple of points extra. Playing the jump, if white plays Nobi, then playing the Hane at T13, then black takes everything in center. So normally white will jump, and then later in the game, white has the opportunity to block here. If black Nobis right away, white doesn't have to block immediately. White can play away and then block later. Because black will eventually end up in Gote. But playing this way, white connects and then Atari from behind, Atari again. And now the sequence ended in Gote for black. Hane is good. Push again. Everything sent there. And now Q19 is the proper move. Well, Q19 is the proper move from the beginning of the game. It's better for black to connect solid to prevent any more code threats there. And here also. Playing like this, later in the game, if there is one or a half point core left to fight for, white has Atari here and then Atari like this. So there are two core threats. When black connects solid, no more core threats in this area. Black is already alive, so no need to play any fancy move. For example, playing Q2 looks nice for I shape, but again, white can play Atari. If black connects, white can play Atari again. So there are two core threats this way too. Huh. Now, if black plays Atari here, white needs to protect, black captures 4 stones, and white has to make 2 eyes like this. So in the end, there will be only 2 or 3 points instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if white protects as it's proper, there are 7 points, not 2. And if black captures, black also makes 8 points, taking those stones. So 8 points, white makes 2 instead of 7, minus 5. It's a 13 points difference. Well, it still doesn't alterate the result of this game, but at least it's going to be a 20 points loss or 25, not 38. Again, black it's defending artistic, but solid it's more effective. No more cotrets for the opponent. And here, instead of taking away a liberty, white should capture the ko. And then, let's say, okay, in the top, we don't care about that because nobody saw from the beginning. So let's say we have a code here, black takes back and use p6 as a code, because if black connects, everything is in Atari. So black has to connect here and white captures back the ko. Now, okay, they fight the ko a little bit. Ah. So Atari, wait. Ah, that's strange. Black was supposed to connect, white takes the ko and then play a ko threat. So black played the ko threat in advance. Then another one, hoping some magic can happen. And then he also lost the ko. Punk, okay. This is needed later actually. And here, why should play Atari on the bottom? Because on IGS, if you don't play this kind of Atari, it will think it's a point. And of course, come back and protect the top. So probably this is the big lesson in this game. Not to allow the Q19 capture. And here we go. White won by 38.5. Congrats on this big win. Hope you enjoyed the review.